What is the meaning to y'all of unconditional love?
Oh Lord.
Did it connect back to you?
Love with no limit.
To love with no limit. Why?
Okay.
I don't know. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like, maybe something cool to talk about on live.
I think you can love somebody unconditionally, but you don't have to be a fool. You can
Right.
love
Right?
somebody
That
unconditionally without being a conditional fool. Come
that
on
way.
now. That's what I think. I feel like somebody needs to know more. What I mean by that is you can love someone unconditionally without being a conditional fool, which means you can love them to the ends of time. However, don't allow your love to keep you somewhere where you're not meant to be. You can love them from a distance. You can love them without changing yourself, not for the better for someone. You can
I
love
would just
them.
been saying you can
You can love them without falling
love
into
them
the
from a
pits of
distance.
manipulation. Um, yeah, you can love them, and then you can also, I can love you.
Hey, Lexi
Hey,
Bob.
boo. You can also say, I can love you.
Lexi.
Um, the best way I can. I think unconditional love is also loving somebody in the best way you know how to love them. And I think that change depending on who the person is. You want to answer the question, Coco, as what does unconditional
Yes.
love mean to you?
Oh, okay. Um, well, to answer that so diligently, unconditional love is from not even from my perspective, but from what I have observed from, you know, just general connections. Unconditional love is a deep understanding. Unconditional love is something that doesn't operate inside its ego. Something that's unconditional is allowing you to be free in every aspect. That's unconditional love, because sometimes I think we generally tend to want to possess other people, and that takes away from us really like experiencing, that person. And I heard that in the interview, and when I heard that, I was like, dang, that is right. Because sometimes, we say we love people, but we operate out of our ego. And then sometimes our ego wants to control people instead of letting them be free. And instead of us like leaning into more so, let me experience and let me learn from this person, let me love this person, outside of like my ego. So I think that's what conditional love is. So, well, when you notice something, a lot of us have dated the same type of person at one point. If you really notice, there's a lot of people out there in the world who just wants more so of possession of people instead of, allowing that person to be free. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and that can really delay your process in life. And I think when God has something for you, it can never be taken away, but it can be good. You know what I mean? Especially when you have the wrong person trying to lead you in this life, in this realm. So, I mean, we all want to be love me long time, but let me free. let me free.
Okay.
Let me free. But you know what? I think unconditional love is it's love of oneself too, because everybody say they want unconditional love, but when something happens, you have limitations on that love. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can love anybody, but once you start acting up, I'm still gonna love you, but my boundaries gonna be put up. My boundaries gonna be.
Okay. Well, for me, my love languages are physical touch and acts of service and words of affirmation. Those are my top three. I am such a touchy feely person. Not only am I a touchy feely person, I'm empathetic to other people and sympathetic. So if you're going through something and you break down and start crying, my nurturing natural reaction is to just pull you close, hug you, and if we got to cry together, we cry together. So that's kind of just my makeup, is to always just be a comfort to other people. So that's that. My interpretation of love is simply patience.
Uh-huh.
Patience for myself and patience for him. How I look at unconditional love would be like everyone has shared. My unconditional love is you I have so many flaws, and I can stand in my truth in front of my partner, and I'm not judged. I'm not looked down upon. I'm not shunned in any kind of way. I'm just loved through all of my good, through all of my bad. Who I am, I'm my authentic self with that person. That is like that person is my best friend. They're my lover. They're everything that I would need, or I feel like I would need. That would be that person. That's that unconditional love for me. And another thing I would add, I feel like when love is genuine, not just with a partner, not just with your husband or your boyfriend. I'm talking about just genuine love for friends, family, whoever. I feel like love will never fade. Now you can place it in different compartments, but I feel like if you genuinely love someone, it never goes away.
I
It
know you're right.
changes, but it never goes away. And when people say, "Oh, I was in love with that person," or "Oh, I was," then that love you had for that person, it wasn't true. It wasn't true
No.
enough to hold. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. So yeah.
The ones I feel like I kind of connect with the most is touch and words of affirmation and service. I don't remember the other two at the moment, but those things are
Coco,
they
I
really be
hate
the solid
TT.
foundation for me. Um, for me to be comfortable enough to want to touch and lay on you and stuff like that, and feel that close to you, it says a lot for me. Um, words of affirmation and being like, so my love, like what I see is love and being loved is like it sounds like what we're all kind of saying, but at the same time, I would put it as feeling seen, like really feeling seen, like you really know me, you know my ways, you know how to get on my nerves, but at the same time, you know how to keep me from blowing something up
Hmm.
because
Ooh.
it can be that way sometimes, but you also allow me to love you in a way that is genuine to how I want, how who I am. Like I don't have to love you the way somebody else do for you to understand and receive my love. Like I could just love you the way I like to love people, which is a lot of giving, a lot of listening, a lot of do you want, do you need, type stuff, but also making me receive that from you as well. And
Hmm.
sometimes it might be a make, especially in the beginning. But yeah.
I'm all of them, but my main one is I like giving to people. And I got it's hard. I like giving.
So
If
acts
I
of
could get you, if
service,
you need a
okay.
pencil, let me go buy you a pencil. If you need my time, all right, I got it. Let's sit down. What we finna talk about? It's just I'm all on, but my main way is giving.
I'm gonna tell you which one she ain't the most, and that's touch.
So,
Uh-uh.
yeah. Ooh. No, wait. Look, you gotta rephrase it, T. Because it's certain people. Now, if you T, Mason, and Roman, and Coco, I let you touch me.
She racist
I
when
let
it
you
comes to
touch
her
me.
love language of touch and feel.
And
She
if
only
you
let me do
somebody
it
else
because
and
she
you
want a
touch me, I'm gonna
massage.
tell something like you just. I can't do
Right?
it.
Okay.
My go-to. If somebody say they sad, so you need a hug, let me go find somebody to give you a hug.
That's why she tell people that, y'all. That she be so serious.
And what's your
Yeah, she let me
what's your
touch us because she get
interpretation of
massages.
love?
She basically said, if you can handle me in my season, if you can handle me in my break, like my nervous breakdowns when I had one that day, or I may just wake up be mad at myself, but if you can handle me in just that, just handle my characters. I got 52, and they add on every day,
Okay.
every hour. Yeah, I got yeah. It's a list of them.
It's definitely, I look at love more so as an action, not just a noun. You know what I mean? I need you. You have to show me. You have to show me that you love me. You have to show me in different ways. You have to be understanding. You have to be present. You have to be um. What's the word I'm looking for? Spirit, help me. I'm trying to eat. You have to be willing. You have to be willing.
Mhm.
And to see me and accept me for me. When you do that, when you can love me through all of me, in and out, and accept me in all of my seasons, because I got more than four, okay? That's
Mhm.
just how extra I am. that's that's love. And I think when I say love is action, it's not always materialistic things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I need that emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I need that love shown to me. I need you to be able to love me enough to correct me when I'm wrong, and love me enough to comfort me when I'm going through some things, and love me enough to celebrate me when it's my time of celebration. That's
Okay.
love to me.
I,
Mm,
I got a
a third
question.
time the charm.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
How do y'all feel about certain practices being like closed? You know how they have like hoodoo, voodoo, voodoo, lakumi, ifa. How do y'all feel about like certain practices being closed?
I think certain practices should be closed. Um, because I feel like they're so sacred, and they should not be able to just be tainted by just anybody who want to play around with something, or who wants to pick it up like it's a hobby. You know what I'm saying? But I think about that when I think spirituality altogether. I think certain people take it serious and see it as a way of life, and then other people tap into it and they just see it as a hobby, especially nowadays when you go on TikTok or something like that and you see everybody doing this or doing that. I don't believe in playing. I don't believe in playing with spirits like that. I really don't. And I think that a lot of people don't take it serious. I think a lot of people do not talk to who they say they talk to. And I think a lot of people do not have permission to share the things that they do share. And I think that they share the things that they share based upon research or what you could find on the web, not necessarily knowing from that deity or that specialty or that category itself. That's how I feel. Like, y'all will never catch me on here talking about Orishas. Never. Unless that Orisha itself comes to me and tell somebody this. But other than that, no. I will never be on here talking about a lot of your journey is secret. A lot of it you don't supposed to share. Now that's not saying gatekeep, but you need to ask for permission before you just go running your mouth. Like, you can't just be like, yeah, me and such been chilling for the past 2 weeks, and they told me, like, they could be giving you the keys to everything. And then you run and you tell it to somebody else, and now that's exposed. And now you have all these people trying to tap into this same energy source or power, and it can fall into the wrong hands. So that's how I feel about it.
Hmm. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Ladies, what y'all think?
I feel like it's a good respect factor. I haven't been studying it, as long. So, or just knowing of it rather, even, right? So I feel like the fact that it's gate kept or viewed that way, I don't have an honest, like, deep opinion about it because I'm just kind of learning what I'm learning. But do I think it should be? I don't see why not, especially when you do know that a lot of things. How many stories we gotta watch in Disney that getting into the wrong hands? You know what I'm saying? Shit is dangerous. So I don't feel like it's a bad thing.
All right, thank you, sister, for your opinion and observation. I appreciate it. Big titty jazz, what you think?
Wait a damn minute.
Mm.
Oh my. I'm clutching my pearls.
Girl, ain't nobody lied.
Anywho.
Aren't they big?
Yes, they did, Ashley. Yes, they are big. Anywho, I think it should be closed. Cause like T said, there is people out here that's practice fake practicing this stuff, and it's not safe. It's really not. Why the ones out here working hard and real deal studying it, living in it, did they work and stuff, get played on by the fake ones. So yeah, I think it should be closed. I think it should almost have a password to get in at this point.
I couldn't agree more with all three of you. Because like, for some time when I've been taking a break from social media, but when I have been on here, I've seen like a lot of videos talking about like different, ATR religions and like Lukumi and hoodoo and voodoo. But um, really, what I've noticed is, even though a lot of the practices are sacred, I think that it's a good thing that it should be, only because, and it dates back to our ancestors in slavery. A lot of us don't know how powerful we are, but they know how powerful we are. That's why a lot of the things they do, they keep the tradition sacred. Because once they figure out how powerful we are, they start to harness our power. And I think a lot of our ancestors gave their power away just too soon. You know, when they should have done more of a job of protecting it. But it's a crazy thing to know, to be taken away and stripped away from your culture. Because if I'm being completely honest, a lot of our grandparents and great grandparents were hoodoo practitioners, but they just, you know, converted to a Baptist or religious lifestyle. They would never
Right.
tell you that they're hoodoo, but you would catch them throwing salt on their shoulder, catch them throwing rice at a wedding, catch them putting
Tradition.
ammonia with the in the kitchen and all of that stuff. But we follow these traditions, but we just never knew what it was called.
Yeah.
Right.
They rather call it superstition, or they'll always say, my granddaddy used to always tell me, or my grandma used to always tell me, and they would live by that. And then you have some that would do that. It would not consider it being anything tied to witchcraft whatsoever. Anything
But
tied to hoodoo, voodoo, you name it, would run from that. But yeah, I think with things like that, you need to be invited. If it's not already within you, wait for it to come to you. Don't just go out claiming things that you have no idea. And trust me, you can read on things all day. You can know about it like front to back from what you read. But experiencing it is going to be totally different. Totally and completely different. So, you can't necessarily go into everything like, okay, I did research on this. Okay, yeah, I know it. I've worked on this for a year, and expect to know how it's going to work out or play out for you.
Right.
So I think people should be very aware of what they are doing. And for the ones who are out here sharing things and saying things and claiming stuff that they are not a part of, my condolences to you, because you messing with forces that really don't play. They really don't.
Mm-hmm. You are right. You are so right. Because a lot of people want access to something that really does not belong to them. And I think when you start talking about bloodline, it gets tricky because you're trying to initiate, somebody in that's not of, not even the culture, but of like that bloodline and that background. And now the ancestors are upset, and it's not going to be easy to welcome that person in, because if you welcome that person in, then you're going to start having problems, you know?
Absolutely.
Some tough
Around
works.
and cursed not just your lineage, but the next one and the next generation and the next generation and the next world. I mean, it's just stuff that you don't play with. Like, you just
Hmm.
really do not play with.
Yeah, because it's real deal curses out there. Because have you ever just noticed or seen, like in either your bloodline or anybody else's bloodline? For example, on my father's side, a lot of the men, not directly from his bloodline, but some of his related nephews, but not nephews, his cousins directly. All of the men on that side have like a addiction problem, a substance problem, and
Mm-hmm.
have succumbed to it. So that could be a generational curse in a sense. You know what I mean? Or like if you have all the women in your family who are barren or who can't carry children or have a history of miscarriages, I believe things like that is not by coincidence.
Right.
You have ancestors back in the day who were cursed and have carried on that bloodline. It just takes somebody to break it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And another thing that I have discovered on, especially on this platform, honey, some of these spiritual people are full of shit. So y'all be careful with who y'all
Majority.
watch.
Majority of them are.
They be like, oh, yes, I can, help you. They talk a good game and all of your ancestor dead and I can, yeah, but take my class is $5,000. I'm like, now wait a minute.
And see, even with that, when you are really into your spiritual journey and you are really into talking to your guides, your ancestors, walking in your purpose, walking on your path, there is no way that you will get on an internet system in any type of way and tell these people that you can help them or that you know them or you are giving out false information. Like, there is just no way you will automatically know better, because there's no way that I'm get online and I'm going to say I'm giving free readings all day. I haven't grounded, I haven't meditated, nobody has told me to do this. If anything, I probably supposed to be sitting down somewhere and I'm on here talking about, yeah, next week your big toe is gonna fall off because you've been walking around the house barefoot. Like, they just get on here and say anything, and they say things that's so generic to everybody feel like it applies to them. Like, yep, I know that was for me. Yep, that was for me. Or I felt that. No, no, that's not always the case.
Mm-mm.
Or they'll ask you so much about yourself and then they'll basically reword it, give it back to you, and then the person's like, yes, exactly. And you're looking like you literally just told them what to tell you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know
Your
what? I
chest was
think
hurt
Okay.
one way or another.
I think y'all, that's why people who are really just starting off and developing their craft and using and utilizing tools have to be very careful about sharing what they do know and doing readings for people, because doing readings is not easy. It's not easy, even for those who are well established in doing so, because you first of all have to know that you are reading the energy of that current moment. So
Mm-hmm.
anything can change. And then two, you have to be sure of what it is that you are actually, telling people. Because if you are for 1 minute hesitating on what you're saying, or you're going back and forth with a person and you're saying this and they're like, no, it's not, you have to be sure in yourself before you can just go out here and give readings, because people are going to challenge you. People are going to say that you're wrong about something that either they can't see or they have suppressed so bad or they just don't want to admit to. So I'm just like, you have to be very mindful before you go out here, like, call me now. Ask me what you want to know.
That was so funny. I don't know why, but you are so for real.
Yeah, it's because I think if you do it too soon, that can make or break you where you are in your path. You know what I mean? If you are just transparent
Yeah.
and you are helping somebody and you are like, listen, I'm not sure, but this is what I got, then that's one thing. But if you are not strong in what it is that you're doing and you haven't truly developed your gifts as much as you see fit or that should be, don't go out here just giving readings, because I'm telling you, these people will chew you up. They'll have you ready to quit.
Mm-mm.
And that's not saying run from it, but that's saying give yourself the amount of time needed to study you, to know how you
Yeah.
tap in, to know how you receive messages or see things.
Mm-hmm.
And people just don't take time to do that. Like, if you want to practice with some people, find a group of people.
Right.
Make a group, a messenger group or something, and practice like that before you just really put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Or even if you do want to put yourself out there, say, hey, I am just practicing. I am trying to strengthen my gifts. I need to talk to people who are going to be really 100% with me, not trying to play with me, or, and help me
Yeah.
sharpen my gifts and my tools. Which, how do I feel about spirit guides? Now, is this like a feeling in general, or like,
This is general, but if you want to throw in how you feel about yours, that's fine. Because
oh, okay.
mine is they starting to really get on my nerves some days. So um, I don't be want to be bothered sometime with them. And then
Spirit,
I want to complain about why my life is getting delayed, and they like, well, we tried to tell you last week to do such and such, but you didn't want to get up. And I was like, you right. I just don't want to hear it. So yeah,
spirit
I
guides.
love you.
My
I
spirit
love you too,
guides.
girl.
I absolutely love my spirit guides. Now, it has not always been like that, but now I harass the hell out of them. I do. Like, I think with time and how the relationship grows, you become attached to them in a sense. Like, they are you and you are them. So even when they get on to you about stuff, once you learn like it's for your greater good, then you kind of can swallow your pride a little bit. But that's not to say that it don't get challenging. But like in the beginning, woo, they put me through it. I was threatened, like I had to fight for my life a few times. Like,
Same. You have to threaten your ass.
it was a lot. It was a lot. It was very overwhelming. I was scared to go to sleep. I was scared to be awake. Like, I was scared to drive. I was scared to stay at home. It was just a lot. It was so much. But now I be paging them left and right. Like, hey, hello, did you forget about me? Like, I know I am who I am today, but yeah, tell a girl, hey, or something. Like, what y'all got going on? I love them though. I got so used to talking to my guys and interacting with them, especially when I was going through the moments of my journey where I was like in seclusion, where they were all that I talked to. So after that, and really getting to know each of them separately, I didn't care about talking to nobody else. Like when I came out of that, when I mastered that and moved on to the next thing, I didn't care. That's all I wanted to talk. That's the only people I wanted to talk to, be around, deal with, you name it. What about you, Jasmine and Coco?
Well, I'm like you. When I first started out, every time I bust around the corner and one of them, like, just the main one just standing there, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, that. But now, I like fussing with mine. I love fussing with mine. Especially when I feel like I'm not getting my way. But I'm like, Alexis, when they be trying to check me, I be getting mad. But it's okay. I still take it, and I still do what they tell me to do, but I be mad. I'm going to try to talk, but I'm still going to do what I'm supposed to do.
My guys is cool, I'm still getting to know them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I have a whole lot. I appreciate that they're there, and that we can chitter chat now, that I'm aware. So, mm,
Child, this whole relationship we got with our spirit guide.
It's
T
like a
got a
marriage.
relationship with her spirit guides. They married. They fully committed.
they fully,
Jasmine got a type
they've
of
been married
relationship with
for
her
years
spirit
and
guide.
years.
They've
I
been married for
love them.
It's to
years.
the point that we got a ring out here.
I'm in the
I got
honeymoon
Jasmine,
3
stage, I
rings.
think.
What you?
Jasmine, you got a relationship with your spirit guide. You like, well, I mean, I hear you, but all right. And Courtney, you got a relationship. I mean, they cool. I ain't trying to add no pressure. If they,
That's her all
want
day.
some, they just come on in. How y'all doing? You want something to eat? I got me. I done
Who?
pissed one of them off before he could even get a chance to get real acquainted with me because I was asking too many damn questions. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was 3 a.m. I woke up and my right ear was ringing real heavy. I said, "Who in here?" I said, "You need to stop coming up in here while I'm trying to go to sleep." My ear immediately cut off and stopped ringing. He said, "Well, fuck
No.
you too. I ain't coming back here then." He probably talking to the rest of them like, "Y'all go talk to her. I ain't about to
Now,
deal
let me
with
tell
that."
you when I learned.
And be stressed.
Have y'all ever picked up a spirit guide for somebody else? Because I have.
Like channeling?
Yeah, like the guide comes to you to tell,
Tell
well,
somebody something. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, one of them got pissed off with me again. Um, so I just
What?
probably need to stop learning to ask questions because he ain't came back since. That person used to visit me frequently when I was around, like, a certain person.
Their
But
person. Right.
when I asked him, I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "You worried about the wrong thing." And I said, "Oh, well, shit, you the one coming to me." He said, "Won't you go talk to that person and you keep coming to me?"
You're
Because,
not necessarily wrong for asking that question. You're really not.
Right. No, for real.
well, that's what I'm saying. He up here, the spirit guide was like a older man. He would always present candy in my vision. It was butterscotch candy. And I probably shouldn't have said this. I said, that's gonna give that person cavities, right?
I'm weak. I'm weak.
All right.
I feel like with that you did exactly what you were supposed to do because that's not giving. I mean, even ancestors, some of them can be a little snappy because they kind of just want you to do what they want you to do. But if you are real about what you're doing, you are not just going to talk to anybody. Like I need you to go through some proper questionnaires before I deliver anything to anybody.
Hmm.
And if you don't
Well,
like it, I'm
shit.
sorry.
So y'all know how y'all be talking about how y'all it was y'all means and stuff. But what if y'all did all that as a friend level?
And what?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What if y'all did all that as a friend level, like y'all best friend? Now she mute.
That she live completely. What if we did all what?
Exactly.
This is some real targeting type of practice here.
I'm here. I'm here
What if
again.
what if we did all what?
Like let's see how can I put it. Did like the I'm gonna go ahead and say to high school. You buy the dude the snacks. Make sure you support him at his game and stuff like that. But at a friend level, you like the person and you think the person like you, but you like, I'm not gonna change. I'm just gonna keep it as friends. Nothing more, nothing less.
You
So
should
my heart
ask Nikki
won't.
this question. You
My heart won't get hurt. His heart won't get hurt, and we'll be cool at the end.
I think Nikki talked about this the other day, if I'm not mistaken. Because I just feel like everybody starts off as friends before anything, really. Even if somebody walk up to you and
Right.
they wanna talk to you, it's still you still gotta build some type of relationship. And normally, but what's really considered normal these days? But normally, it starts off as some type of friendship. How I feel about that?
Oh, can I answer? Is it
Yes,
my turn?
I said this was a great one for you.
Oh yes, honey. Now listen. Now I'm gonna be honest. Let's be real. The flirting can be very invigorating.
Come on, invigorate.
However, I am a person that I get emotionally attached, especially if we've spent a lot of time together. Because when you spend a lot of time, Phillips develop, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where me and Brandon are right now, and then it starts to
But the
get
fact that his
frustrating.
name is Brandon too.
Mm-hmm. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, I be on my edge.
But it can get
His name
frustrating.
is Brandon too.
So it's really what you are you bold. Okay, number one, are you bold enough to put your true feelings out on the table? Or are you just wanting to
Back
use
then, I
him
didn't do
for
that,
the
baby.
attention?
Mm-hmm.
Or you like, because we all have to, there's a place and there's a game that we play in that. So I would ask you, what are you wanting from this guy? Truly.
Now,
Big bit.
um, I haven't thought about it like down, but back then I wanted like a full relationship and everything. But my heart. I was like, I ain't got time. I can't do it
But
with the
what is
like
that?
my
Is
heart
that okay? So let me talk to you straight up. That
hurt.
I
Okay,
don't got time. Is that a defense mechanism, or is that truly how you feel?
that's a defense mechanism.
Right, right.
I'm gonna be 100. It's a defense mechanism.
Hmm.
I'm working on that.
So
Proud of you, Jasmine.
I would say, you gotta let somebody love you. You know what I'm saying?
Mario.
Don't be defensive, because that just might be who God sent to you. But if you are too defensive to let him in to see where things might go, then how would you know? And I'm telling you from experience.
Okay.
Oh,
So
can I
so be
piggyback?
open.
Can I piggyback
But
off
you
of that?
know,
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Also, because I know you personally, so I know a lot of the I ain't got time come from you seeing others' relationships and knowing what other people went through. However, life is an experience, so you literally have to experience
Mm-hmm.
things. You
Right.
cannot close yourself in. You have to allow yourself to experience everything that comes to you, because like she said, you will never get that happily ever after. It doesn't always be the first person, like you know how you see it with some people, they one and done. But those
right?
experiences help you grow. They help you grow even if they don't turn out how you may have planned.
Mm-hmm.
True.
they help you further advance, further advance who you are and who you need to be and what you need to work on. And they help you see yourself for you.
Right.
So you have to be willing to open that up. You can't just say, my heart chakra is open and I'm accepting of love, but it's only if it comes from people. It don't really work like that.
Right.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to take a chance and bet on yourself.
Bet on you.
And
Bet on
don't look at other people's circumstances, situations, because
Yeah.
they journey and what they're not you. They're not who you are as a person. So as long as you're being your authentic
Right.
self, take the chance. All the chances may not work out, but at least you
Right.
took them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing.
and take them diligently. You don't have to take one, it don't work out and rush to the next one, and that don't work and rush to the
Oh,
next one.
true.
Like, take
True.
time while
Right.
you're taking these chances. Just take that wall down.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, cause that wall is up, baby.
Take
It's up
that
high.
wall down, because sometimes we get so focused on ourselves, and we're wondering why we're stuck in certain areas of life. And somebody might come up to you and be like, it's because of love. Let me tell you something. Y'all know how many years ago it was, maybe 3, where my wall was so thick and that's all they kept screaming, it's because of love, it's because of love. And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to focus on me, I'm trying to work on me, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You have to take that wall down, because sometimes that is the thing that's blocking you. And I'm not saying just love from another person, but
Right.
self-love. And in that category of self-love, you do have to experience a relationship with someone else so you can love yourself more.
Right.
Yeah. When your heart is open, it's crazy because it really can also help in every other area of your life. When you allow yourself to be open to receive love and open to give love, you open up different ways of looking at even how you operate sometimes without even knowing it. So
Yep.
it's much more to it than being afraid of whether that person will be the one or whether you can trust them without trying to even get to know what they feel like for you. You we can hear all the time what it feels like when you trust somebody or when you've been betrayed, but until you experience certain things to continue to fuel your intuition and your desire on what you truly want and who you truly are, you can't do that from a closed heart. You can't do that from behind the wall. You got to come out from behind the wall.
And be optimistic. Don't go into something like, I'm signing myself up for pain, so let me just go ahead and do this and get
Right.
this over with. I'm signing myself up for betrayal, so let me just go ahead and do. No, be optimistic. Now that don't mean you have to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You use your discernment and
Right.
things like that. But it will teach you so much that you did not know and realize about yourself. And like she
Yes.
said, including how you love. It will show
Right.
you that. It will highlight, how do you come off to people.
Yeah.
And don't forget to enjoy the ride. You know
Thank
what I'm
you.
Yes.
saying?
Have
Don't
fun
forget
with
to
it.
enjoy it.
Have fun with
Learning
it.
somebody else, learning more stuff about you, meshing your disposition and your personality with another person. It
Yeah.
can be enjoyable. It can be loving. It can be all of these great things. Now, to be realistic, I deal in more of the reality. Yeah, are y'all gonna have disagreements when you get to know somebody? Absolutely. Things may not
Right.
go as planned. Absolutely. But if that person is worth it, work on it. Don't be, and I'm gonna tell you something that I had to learn in my older age. It's okay to apologize first. It's okay to come back and tell my bad. I'm sorry. I was tripping. It's
Oh
okay
baby, I'm gonna tell you
to be
like
vulnerable in a space where you say, you know what, I didn't have to go that far with it. And I just want to ask for your forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? I was not, I was more on well, fuck it. I don't give a
that
damn if
with
I did
me.
fuck up. Fuck it.
The thing about it is, Jasmine, with you have an advantage because you have people who can help guide you. But you know
Right.
how I speak about this all the time. You have different versions of yourself. If you don't allow yourself to truly grow, you will not be able to appreciate that version of you. You're stunting your growth in a whole nother way. You have an inner child that had to grow. You had to work through that. You have your teenage years, you have to work through that. You have to give yourself that experience so that you can appreciate where you're coming from and where you're going to and the things that you've been through. That's one thing about life. And it normally don't turn out too well for people who try to close themselves up and only experience things that they enjoy here and there. You have
Right.
to face those
Live.
fears.
Life is that's the key word. Face your fears and live. Life is very short. Don't close yourself off. Don't wait until, because I'm gonna tell you what could happen. You could close yourself off for so long and then find that piece of happiness that you've been praying for and wanting, and now in your mind it's like, I could have been had this had I been open enough, or had I been willing enough, or had I been a little less fearful.
Yep. And
So
don't look at
I say,
anything as a waste of time. Because I know
right.
we say it all the time. They ain't gonna do nothing but waste my time. Don't look at anything as a waste of time. Those
Right.
things happen even if they didn't turn out so well. They happen for a reason. So take the lesson from it and keep moving forward.
Hmm. I'm gonna pray boldness over you. Be bold.
Oh,
Mm.
boldness.
Be,
Jasmine, I tell you all the time. I mean, I tell you to the point where sometimes I fuss at you. It's just you.
Yeah.
It's just you. You don't have any responsibilities other than yourself. Baby, live.
Yeah.
Live. I don't care if you want to go.
uh
Thank you for the
oh.
confirmation.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Baby, live your life. It's your life. Live it and live it up.
And you can start with the you can start small. You know what I'm saying? Take yourself to dinner. Take yourself
That's right, baby.
shopping. You know what I'm saying? Do something just for you.
Yes,
That's been
Open
on my
yourself
absolutely.
list to
up.
take myself
Go
to
to a
dinner.
place, or to a shop, or to a spot that you've never, or around the city that you've never been to, or to an area that you've never been to.
Mm-hmm. Explore.
Yeah.
You got it. And like I said,
Got
Mm-hmm.
you
it.
have an advantage because you have people who can literally help you
Right.
and help you understand when something is not right or something went wrong. You have people who can literally like
Mm-hmm.
tell you from experience and tell you from tapping in, this was this and you supposed to take this from that. Like, girl, you really got it made when you look at it.
Baby,
Yeah.
when I stayed in
Yeah.
the can and I got my brand new car, I stayed in the city. Oh, I couldn't
Listen,
get off of work
far away
fast
from
enough. You hear
here,
me?
far away from here,
All up in the
far
street.
away
Oh my
from.
gosh, baby, I was gone Friday at 5 because I got off at 4. You hear me?
It's
You'll be
so
there.
much, it's so many things that we haven't unlocked or experienced that we like, that we don't even know that we
Yeah.
like.
True, true.
It's
Yeah.
so much. And
Yeah.
sometimes, like Nikki said, we can find it in the smallest of things. And you'll be like,
Yep.
you've been here this whole time. I would have never thought about it.
Yep. That's real talk. And a lot of things you just cannot. And I'm sure you just said this. I don't know why I'm doubling back, but you just cannot experience unless you experience them. Like it's like looking through a window. Looking through a window is never the same as being in the building
There you go. Talk that shit,
Ooh,
Courtney.
that's a
Talk that
word. You
shit, Courtney.
better go.
Hell.
because when
Yeah.
you're looking through a window, right, you can only see certain parts of the room, right?
Right.
You can only see parts of the exes what's going on, but when you get in the building, baby, you can hear the sounds, you can
Mm-hmm.
smell the smells, you can feel the energy of
Mm-hmm.
what's really going on, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can see what it means. You can see what it means to you, though. See, other people's perceptions of relationships, baby, may not never be the same as yours.
Of
Come
anything.
on,
Somebody might have
come on,
told you.
Babe, I'm gonna put
Somebody might have
professor in
told
front of
you.
everybody name
Courtney.
tonight. God,
Somebody might
yeah.
have told you that this person did XYZ, and make it say you are in a moment where you're experiencing something similar to what you heard, but it don't feel nothing like what they say it felt like.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
easy
Exactly.
to
boy.
say that ain't me. That couldn't be me until you experience it, cause shit
Right,
gets
baby.
real.
It
Woo.
do. It really
It
When I
do.
gets
tell you that thing
real.
had a hold on me, Lord Jesus.
4, 5, 6.
Do you
Real.
hear me? I'm talking about the grip was so strong until I almost succumbed to it.
But let me tell y'all something. This some real stuff. This some real stuff.
Let me
I don't
tell you
think I
something.
ever said this until now. Maybe I have. I don't know. I'm thankful for the people who hurt me. I'm thankful for those
Hold on,
relationships
can't hear
that
you.
didn't work out. Can you hear me now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I can run this
Yeah.
back. I'm thankful for the people who hurt me. I'm thankful for those relationships that didn't work out. I'm thankful for those times where I was burnt out, tried and tried it again, gave it my all, etc., etc. I'm thankful for that to this day where I don't have to hold any type of hate towards those
Yeah.
individuals in my life because those experiences, if I didn't go through them, I would not be who I am today.
Say
I
it
would not
again.
know
Yeah.
who I am today. I would not know what I tolerate and what I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I would not. I would not
That.
know my real power.
True.
I would not know my real worth. Now,
Hmm.
mind you, as Beyonce and Megan say, mind you,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That
however,
way.
I'm still human. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really matter
Hmm.
how hard you are. You have to look back on those situations and say thank you to that version
True.
of you who held it down through that. Because had she not, you would not be who you are today.
And Jasmine, and again, I like to speak in truth, and it ain't nothing that I've heard. It's all of what I've been through. When I tell you, Courtney can tell you straight up, my wall was like yours. I'm talking about it was probably higher. When I tell you I was so closed off to the world, so just it was just Courtney could tell you, like, because we had the blessing in that is Courtney was the person who taught me how to be open, because
Mhm.
I didn't have nobody in my life and that could teach me that, right? It
Same,
took me a long time to hear it, and it took me a long time to apply it.
same.
But because I've been where you are, I'm telling you, don't let it take you that long to actually apply it.
I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars,